We got CJC Castro. He says, hey Jake, do you think the IMF will use the SDR to fix liquidity issues during the reverse carry trade as a last attempt, as Rickards believes? Thanks and God bless. Jim's a smart guy. You know, he's actually where I got the oil theory from for the Bank of Japan to be forced to have to raise interest rates. He's the one that talked about the Strait of Hormuz or the Strait of Gibraltar being shut down as a choke point. So, you know, if Jim Rickards is talking about the SDR in the liquidity crisis, the SDR, for those that don't know, is a special drawing right. It is very similar to the Bancor coin that the IMF and other nations put forth at Bretton Woods in 1944 when the US dollar became the global reserve currency. And we backed it with gold, and then over time, obviously, you know, 1971, Nixon took us off the gold standard, closed the gold window, which never reopened, and then we've had floating exchange rates ever since. The SDR is a basket of currencies. It's weighted based on GDP of nations, and they would dole out whatever currency was required in order to be able to shore up a financial system. As a liquidity provider or a lender of last resort, the Fed kind of sits in that position today as the global reserve currency. Still hanging on is the dollar, but in a multipolar world, I do think the special drawing right would be the solution. But you would need a way to be able to exchange value very quickly. You've got, you know, some people think that XRP is the ESDR. I don't think that's the case. I believe that, you know, the ESDR will still be the basket of those currencies, and XRP will be the exchange rate peg, which was an abbreviation that the IMF put out in 2014 in their paper. If you want to go look it up, you can look up exchange rate peg, IMF. And that is about the time that Ripple rebranded from Ripples, which was their token back then, to XRP. When XRP was originally minted, it was called XNS, and when it was minted by OpenCoin back in the day before it was gifted to Ripple, the majority of the supply. And then obviously 20% was kept for the founders, and many of those have been sold off over the years. But Brad and Chris and a few others still have pretty significant holdings worth of XRP.